Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am Marcia from Mom Hunts Dead People, and today we're covering the Lizzie Borden trial. In this episode, we're going over Augusta D. Tripp. If you haven't had a chance to follow along with the witness statements, I suggest you go ahead and pop over there. We have them in short bites or in one long format. Perfect for getting things done as you body double or for those long road trips. Otherwise, let's dig in to the inquest of Augusta D. Tripp. Augusta D. Tripp. What is your name? Augusta D. Tripp. Where do you live? Westport. Were you related in any way to Mr. or Mrs. Borden? No, sir. Or connected by marriage? No, sir. Did you know them? Yes, sir. I know them. Did you ever visit the family? Yes, sir. When did you first begin to visit there? When I was a schoolgirl. I think in the year 1875. Have you been visiting them since? More or less. Very little since. When was the last time you were there, do you think? To make a visit? Yes. I went there on the 13th of July of last year. Not this year? No, sir. I made a call there this year, but not a visit. How long did you stay when you were there the 13th of July? I went Monday and came back Saturday. Okay, I don't get the difference between a call and a visit. I mean, to me, a visit is shorter, but maybe a call is shorter. I mean, because she's been there nearly a week, so she's staying with them. You were there nearly a week. Yes, sir. Was Miss Lizzie at home? Yes, sir. And Miss Emma? Yes, sir. And the old people? Okay, that's one way to refer to Mr. and Mrs. Borden. The old people. We have the young crowd and then the old people. Mrs. Borden I did not see. Where was she? In Swansea, I think they said. During the whole time? Yes, sir. Mr. Morse was not there? No, sir. The same domestic, Bridget Sullivan, was she there? And we're back to Bridget. I mean, she's a suspect as far as I'm concerned because the only people in this house at the time of the murder were Bridget and Lizzie. Though it would be nice if they could agree on what to call Bridget. Bridget, Maggie, the girl, the servant, the domestic. Can we pick something and just run with it consistently? They always called her Maggie, the same girl that worked for them since. I have not seen her. I suppose so. I did not know, but you had seen her since the affair happened. No, sir. Have you seen either Miss Emma or Miss Lizzie since then very much? Since that visit? No, sir. I have only seen them a very short time. I think less than an hour. That was this spring I made a call. Where was it? I made a call on them at the house. Just made a call. Okay, we get it. You made a call, not a visit. Who did you see then? Miss Emma and Miss Lizzie. And Mrs. Borden? No, sir, I did not. You were acquainted with Mrs. Borden? A very little from meeting her with Lizzie. Your friends were more particularly the daughters? Yes, sir. Were you a schoolmate of either of the daughters? With Miss Lizzie. So that your most intimate friend in the family was Miss Lizzie? Yes, sir. Did you ever hear either Miss Emma or Miss Lizzie say anything about their stepmother? I have heard them speak of her, of course. And about their feelings towards her? I think I've heard them say but very little. Which one have you heard talk about it? I think Miss Lizzie. When was it you heard her talk about it? I could not tell you when. Was it the time of your visit there? Very little said about her. Mrs. Borden was away, and there was very little said about her. What do you remember of hearing Miss Lizzie say about it? About Mrs. Borden, then? Yes, or at any time. Well, I don't know what to tell you, for I have seen them so little that they did not go to tell me all their... I wanted to know what they did tell you that is all. It would be rather hard for me to remember what they tell me. Remember what you can. Do you remember what you told the officer about it, Mr. Medley? Did you have a talk with him? Yes, sir. I have had a talk with him. Do you remember what you told him? I don't remember that he asked me such a question as that. I answered his questions. What did he ask you? He asked me several questions, and I answered them. Had you any opportunity of observing what the relations were between the daughters and the mother, or between Miss Lizzie and the mother? Whenever I saw them together, they had very little to say to each other. They seemed to have very little to say to each other. Everything went along quietly. They did not seem to make very much conversation with each other. She seems very unsure about what she's even talking about. Whenever I saw them together, they just didn't talk. Okay, but she was a guest, so wouldn't the attention be focused on the guest instead of each other? Because maybe it's just my southern manners, but if you have a guest over, you don't hold a conversation excluding the guest. You involve the guest in the conversation. Maybe it's different in Massachusetts, especially in the 1890s and the 1875, she said, through 1891. Maybe the manners were different, and you excluded the guest and just had a little old chat yourself in front of them. Did they eat at the same table? Oh, yes, sir. Did you ever hear Mrs. Borden say anything about either Emma or Lizzie? No, sir. She made no talk? No, sir. I have seen very little of the family since I have been married, since I have been away from the city. What can you tell us about the relations between Lizzie and her mother, so far as you have observed it and heard it from Lizzie? All I can tell you is that I don't think that they were agreeable to each other. What made you think so? I have seen them together very little. What should make me think so would be, if I were there, why, they did not sit down, perhaps, and talk with each other as mother and daughter might. They were very quiet. Okay, so she was there, then the mother and daughter were not paying exclusive attention to each other. I really don't get what she's saying. If you guys can figure out what she's saying, go ahead and put it down in the comments, because I'm just not getting it. That is, they were together so little that you observed the fact. No, I don't think I should. They were around in the same room together, the dining room. I don't think I should. She didn't think she should observe the fact that they weren't together very often? Okay. They associated together so little, you noticed the fact that they did not associate together. I noticed it. Not that they kept away from each other, not that at all, but that they did not enter into conversation, perhaps with each other, perhaps. She's using the word perhaps the way we would currently use the filler words or like. So if that helps you kind of decipher what she's trying to put down, maybe that'll help you out if you replace perhaps with the word or the word like. But she seems to be very carefully not saying anything. She reminds, she could just be nervous because she is, I believe these were done in a courthouse because there's the judge present. So the inquest was probably done in a courthouse, which would definitely make most of us nervous. If we're not familiar with courthouses, we're like, why here? Why me? Can I not? So sitting there in a courthouse being grilled over a double murder with an axe hatchet, whatever instrument they settled on, would definitely make most people nervous. And if she's not a very self-assured person in the first place, I could see her kind of crumbling. But at the same time, I kind of get the feeling that she's very carefully double speaking. I don't know if you have this in other cultures, but in the South, we definitely have double speak. It's kind of like when somebody says, bless your heart in certain situations. It could mean, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. Or it could have a very different meaning. Context is everything in a bless your heart. Was that so with Lizzie as well as Emma? Or with one daughter more than the other? I think Lizzie talked with her mother more than Emma. Emma had less to say to her. Yes, sir. So she's saying both girls ignored her. Like, maybe they just weren't very verbose. And neither one of them, maybe none of them liked pointless chit-chat. They weren't small talk people. Because she's saying even Lizzie talked more than with the mom more than Emma did. But Lizzie and Mrs. Borden still weren't all that communicative. So maybe they just weren't. What did you notice that led you to think that Lizzie and the mother did not get along well together, or were not agreeable to each other, as you expressed it? I don't know of anything. I can't recollect anything. What you noticed was the manner towards each other. Yes, sir. That is all, not from any words. Their manner to each other was not that of those persons that are agreeable to each other, or did not seem to be. Vibes. She got vibes. Nobody said nothing. Emma was even less talkative to the mom than Lizzie was. But she just, got vibes that they didn't like each other. When was it that you have seen them together? I could not tell you, surely. It is as much as 5 years since I have seen Mrs. Borden at all, which makes you not a great witness. to any of this? What are you witnessing? Are you just here for character assassination? Because you're not here for character support. So all this was based on what was quite a while ago. Oh, yes, sir. Even he noticed it. He's like, yeah, you haven't seen anyone in 5 years? You haven't seen her in 5 years. So this is all stuff you remembered after the murders. The officer reports that you told him that Lizzie told you at some time that she thought her stepmother was deceitful. One thing to her face and another behind her back. Did he say I said Lizzie told me so? Yes. I did not think I told him so. It seemed to me that she did not like one way of appearing to her face. You know, deceitful. She could not bear deceitfulness. And she could not bear one thing to her face and find out another thing to her back. She could not bear deceitfulness. I mean, I get that. I'm a come at me bro kind of person. So I was like, just say it to my face and then we can deal with it. And it irks me to no end to have people gossiping behind my back. Have I deliberately fanned the flames of gossip when I found out that people were gossiping? Yes. Currently, my husband's colleagues have no idea what I do for a living because I've told them 3 different things. None of which were technically a lie. I've just told them 3 different things. Was that what Lizzie told you? I could not say she told me that. That was the idea I got from what? Well, I don't know as I could say from being there. Or from being with Lizzie, perhaps? For I have been there very little. Okay, so again, vibes. You didn't get it from being at their house because you were there only a handful of times. And you were very clear you were there for a call, not a visit. And she never actually said anything, but you got the feeling. So vibes. You also told the officer that Lizzie told you that her stepmother claimed not to have any influence with the father. But Lizzie thought she did have influence with him. Yes, I think Lizzie thought she did. You think she thought. I often think people think. Turns out they're true that they actually think most of the time. Turns out I'm normally wrong about what they think, unless they tell me. Did Lizzie tell you that her stepmother claimed not to have any influence with him? I don't remember any such talk. With relation to giving some property to the stepmother. Lizzie, from what I have heard her say, but I could not tell you the words, Lizzie said, but I gathered from what I heard her say, it was a long time before I heard her say it, that she thought her mother must have had an influence on her father, or he would not have made a present to her half-sister. It was a long time ago, not expecting this to come up. I could not swear to one word Lizzie said. Okay, that's a lot of backtracking. I know I'm making way more comments than I normally do, but yeah. The gist of it, of what she's saying, for those of you who are not familiar with doublespeak, is that, hey, Lizzie didn't say this, but she totally thinks that her stepmom has influence with her dad, because why else would he buy a house for his sister-in-law? But it's not like Lizzie told me that. That's pretty much how this is going down, with a lot more nervousness. I'm picturing just kind of like this little tiny woman just kind of like curled up in herself and like not wanting to be in the courtroom and just like getting all of her words out like really fast. Like, it was a long time before I heard her say it, that she thought her mother must have had an influence over her father, or he would not have made a present to her half-sister. It was a long time ago, not expecting this to come up. I could not swear to one word Lizzie said. That's kind of like the vibe, my vibes that I'm getting from this. This was all prior to the last visit. Nothing was said about this at the last visit. No, sir. Did Lizzie say to you she did not know that either Emma or she would get anything in the event of her father's death? I did not hear her say so. Who told you she said so? I think my invalid sister told me so. Lady, I'm liking you like less and less. Maybe that was a common way to refer to people back then. But why are you just dropping it down that your sister's an invalid? Why not just be like, my sister told me? What is her name? Miss Carrie Impool. She is very feeble. She lives on Madison Street, New Bedford. She's very feeble indeed. Why are you throwing your sister out now? You're already like double talking with Lizzie saying that she said stuff, but she didn't say it, just vibes. Lizzie didn't say it, but she kind of said it with facial expressions and all. And now she's just like, my very feeble sister said it. You should believe me because my incredibly feeble sister told me. So, legit sources? Did you ever hear Lizzie say that? No, sir. I never heard Lizzie say that. The officer says you said explicitly, Mrs. Tripp, that Lizzie told you that she thought her stepmother was deceitful. One thing to her face and another thing behind her back. Not in so many words, but that was the substance of what she said. I don't remember her saying that. Do you remember of telling that to the officer? I remember very well talking to him that I thought Lizzie thought her mother was deceitful. One thing to her face and another to her back. I did not say Lizzie told me that. I cannot say so. I was taken very much by surprise at seeing Officer Medley come in, and I tried to tell, but those things were years back, and thinking they would never come up. I can't recollect word for word things that occurred years ago. I can't say that Lizzie told me she thought so, but it would be from little things I might have heard her say that would cause me to think she could not bear deceitfulness, being such an honorable person that she was. Square person. Okay, so I guess like square person is similar-ish to what it was in the 80s. I don't even think we use calling people a square nowadays. From TV in the 80s, calling somebody a square was like calling them rigid and nerdy and boring. I guess in the 1890s it was an honorable person. I still get the feeling rigid is definitely a word to be used for a square person. And why does she keep bringing up that it happened years ago and she never thought it would come up? I feel like she's implying that it's something that was said and should be brushed under. This is what I mean by double talk, people. Like this is what I'm getting at. It was like you say something incriminating and then you'd be like, but why? But why? Like, oh, I saw her there with an axe, but it's not like she was the murderer. She just had an axe and a murder's happened nearby. She would never murder anyone, ever. It's all coincidence. I'm going to vehemently deny it. She never said she hated those people. I just kind of got vibes she didn't like them. So it's like incriminating someone without actually having to come out and say, yeah, I think she did it. So you're covering your bases. Did she appear to be fond of her stepmother in her talk with you? No, I don't think she was fond of her. Did she appear to be unfriendly towards her? No, sir. And that is the end of Mrs. Tripp's testimony, such as that was. I got nothing of substance out of that. I mean, all I got was a lot of gossip and double talk and vibes. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, is she just nervous having to be in court and be in front of the inquest? Do you think she's deliberately double speaking? Maybe a bit of both. What are you guys feeling about this testimony? You're probably feeling. Is that I interrupted way too much with commentary? But it is what it is. Normally, I don't have quite that many things to say. All right, everyone. That's the episode of Augusta D. Tripp. So until next time, happy hunting.